Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope you guys are having a good week. This is the Juice Box Heroes podcast, and as always, I'm one of your hosts, PK. We have the Dubon Fan Club President, Mr. Christopher Moreno, and Sweet B Bones. Mr. Bryles is in the house. Like always, fellas, how's your week going?
It's busy. Had a nice little day vacation. Came back. It's over now. Now again, it's right back in All Stars. We start district tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So we'll see how far we go in that. But that's really about it, bros. How's your week going so far?
Well, as you already mentioned, it was a short week with us all having Memorial Day off. It's always nice to have that Monday off and feel like you get to relax. And then you get back to the office on Tuesday, and then you're like, yeah, that's going to suck. So, but other than that, I'm ready to talk about some Astros baseball because let me tell you, they are looking real good right now. And I know we've got some stats to get into, some really good things to get into, some updates and some news. So, PK, how about you, sir?
Pretty good, pretty uneventful. I completely agree. It's that Tuesday back from a Monday holiday, and it's like, oh shit, this is gonna suck. So it's that's kind of how my my Tuesday went. It's funny how having 4 days off, because I did take Friday off. It's funny how having 4 days off, you quickly forget what you did on Thursday at the end of your week and realize the oh craps on Tuesday. So, but all in all, it's been a good back to the week. Tomorrow's Friday, another weekend. Rays are in town, currently losing to Houston's losing 2-0, I think in the fifth, is what it is. But let's get back to earlier this week. Monday was an off day. First time in 17 games was their Astros' first off day. Needed that off day. Still, we talked about it Sunday. It was still kind of strange to not have the Astros playing Monday, but for the team as a whole, needed that day off. So we come into the A's mini series, and I'm pretty sure that I predicted a 2-0 sweep. So I'm back on the winning track. Chris did not have any faith in the team and took a 1-1 split. But it's okay. We all can't be winners. Only a few of us. But look, our pitching lined up pretty good. You had Diesel going on Tuesday, and he did Hunter Brown things. Final line was 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 run, 8 Ks. So look, that's a good get back game for Hunter Brown, because he had a couple outings recently or prior to that where pitched good, didn't get the win, or a little bit lack of control, something we weren't used to seeing from him this season. So it was good for him to get back on that winning track. Good outing for him, So I think that was the Altuve 2-run bomb game, was it not?
Yes, sir.
It was. So yeah, look, we needed that win. Let's get into Tuesday's game. What did y'all see? What did y'all think?
Yeah, definitely the day off definitely paid dividends. So like I said, Monday was the Hello Kitty night there at the Dyken Park, where the Astros completely just donkey stomped the Oakland/Sacramento/Las Vegas A's. And I mean, I mean, I I really can't say anything negative. It's you know Hunter Brown went out there, dominated for 6 innings, and then the offense did fantastic offensive things. So I was a little worried about Tuesday's game, with them scoring so many runs, or I was worried about Wednesday's game with them scoring so many runs on Tuesday. I was like, okay, so this is where you definitely want to go with, as Barrows would say, you go with the under, because normally we've seen this season where they go and they put up a crap ton of runs. Usually the next game, sometimes even the next couple of games, they seem like they struggle to put runs together. Wasn't exactly how it went down, which again, anytime you get a mini 2-game sweep, I don't mind being wrong. But yeah, they completely took the A's to the woodshed on Tuesday. So what I saw a lot of good stuff. You can't complain. 11-1
No
was the
doubt.
final score. That's what I saw. I was kind of watching the game and kind of turning my back as All-Star practice was going on, kind of watching everything. So yeah, Browse, unless you have anything to add, that's all I got.
Yeah, no, honestly, you took the words out of my mouth when you were talking about the score being 11-1, and then you get worried. It's like going into that next game, you're like, okay, here we go. So now what are they going to do? Maybe scratch one across the board on the very next game on Wednesday. It didn't go down like that, but just to like go back to that Tuesday game a little bit, it was really nice to see Brown get his ERA down to a 2 flat. So he's going to be looking to get a sub-2 ERA coming up on his next outing. The other thing I'll say is that typically the Astros struggle against JP Sears. He's a pretty good pitcher for the A's. And we went out and just absolutely dominated. Master Splinter, a.k.a. Altuve, was 4 for 4, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. He looked like the RBI he looked like the Altuve that Houston loves. So that was fantastic to see. You got to see Cam Smith all fired up after he got his RBI double. You got to see Pena get the barely poke over the Crawford boxes, the cheap home run where he banked it right off the yellow line, like right next to the foul pole as he hit the 7-iron shot over there into the Crawford boxes. So that was fun to see. It was a good game all the way around. I've gone over my notes 100 times, and I'm like, everybody had a good game. I mean, Walker had 2 RBIs, Pena had 2, Smith had 2, McCormick had 1, Chris's favorite player had 1. And then you had home runs from Altuve twice, Pena, and Christian Walker again. So Walker stayed hot. That was great to see. I mean, it was just an all-around good game. We got to beat them up, and that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, no, I was actually kind of surprised about how long they left JP Sears in because he was getting tattooed. I mean, not just you take away the runs that we put up against him, but the contact that the at bats the guys were having, like they were hitting them hard. So I was really surprised that they kept him in as long as they did. I don't know what their bullpen situation was, and I really don't care. I'm glad they left him in as long as they did, but I was still kind of surprised that Kotsay left him in as long as he did. So we take that dub. We needed it. I think that was 3 wins in a row on Tuesday. We go into Wednesday's game, afternoon game. McCullers is on the hill, and it was McCullers. I can probably say McCullers of old, honestly, given how his final line was. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 12 Ks, 1 walk. Those 3 runs came in like the first couple of innings. He gave up a home run. I think Lawrence Butler hit like a moonshot out to left
no, that
center.
was Wilson. That was Wilson, and yeah, he destroyed that. Yeah.
Yeah, Butler hit a home run, I think, the game before, I think, possibly. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is that McCullers, that was the McCullers that we were used to seeing, 2 years ago, whenever he pitched last. So really happy for him, to go past 4 1/3 of an inning, go to 6 innings, get the win. Did he get the win? He got the win. Get the win. I can't imagine how much confidence that's given him for his next, outing. I mean, his off speed looked disgusting all the way through. It really did. So we had to come back and win on that. We had to come back to win. I think that was like their 16th comeback win of the season. I believe it was what it was. But what do you guys think? What did you guys see on the Wednesday game?
Yeah, man. I mean, LMJ looked like he was that dude again. I mean, like what I really liked that I saw was that he gave up runs early, right? And at first I was kind of like, oh boy, here we go. And again, not saying he was going to implode. I mean, but like you give up 2-3 runs, and then coming off of the game that we had on Tuesday, it was like, oh boy, we're going to lose this game 2-3-0, right? But then, like, man, he just settled in and he got into that groove, and you could see his confidence build, as he went through. I mean, granted, yes, it was 4, and you said 4, or you said how long did he go? He went 6, right?
He went 6, yes.
Okay, 6, yeah. So you saw that confidence slowly start to build as he get through the innings, and like I said, man, he was just mowing down hitters. Like, I mean, I'm glad to see that he's using. He's using his secondary pitches. He's not just solely relying on that curveball, because I think you were saying, or I was hearing Blummer saying that how they're liking how the fact that he didn't just rely on that curveball all the time.
Yeah.
I think he worked in a changeup. I think he has a cutter, or is that a two seamer? One of the two. I don't remember his whole
I don't
pitch
remember that one. Yeah.
repertoire, but man, it was good to see Lance McCullers come back and basically do look like the Lance McCullers that we've seen him, pitch in 2017, 2021 when he was the ace of the staff. When he got hurt against the White Sox in the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, like the offense picked him up right when he needed them to pick him up. I mean, so again, it's hard to unless you're going to nitpick on little things. I mean, like. It was fantastic, and it was great to see him have that outing because, like you said, PK, I think it's going to do nothing but amp him up in a positive way for the next time he takes the bump. I mean, so
yep.
Rouse, what do you got to add?
Yeah, no, he looked fantastic. I mean, he tied his career high in strikeouts with 12. Last time he did that was against the White Sox, I believe, back in 2019, which is absolutely fantastic. So to see him do something like that was great. I will add one thing from that game that I saw, and I don't think too many people caught it, but I think it was the third inning, and there was a pop-up that was hit between the catcher and third base, and any professional pitcher I have seen is staying on the bump. He's going to let somebody else handle it. Not Lance McCullers Jr., apparently.
Yeah,
he went, tracked it down. You see that in college, you see it in high school, but most of these professional pitchers, you're not going to see that. And that just shows me how bad he wants to get back to the form he was in. We were talking about him trying to, just chip away at that ERA. I mean, 3 games ago, he had an ERA somewhere around 2 touchdowns. He's got it now whittled down to a 5.87 after that game. So he looked, even though he gave up a couple runs, he still looked good going all the way through. And, I know that's probably the main focus of game number 2 against the A's. But I do want to talk about the offense just for a little bit because they came back and looked absolutely fantastic. Listen, we've been making fun of them for being absolutely terrible with runners in scoring position. I know Chris brought it up in the last time we were on live. I actually, on our text thread, was making fun of it, saying it was our kryptonite. If you got runners in scoring position or bases loaded with 1 out, what's going to happen? They're going to roll into a double play. So, no 5-4-3s were happening this time. We got to see Caratini with the bases loaded, get the 2 RBI single, or he ripped it up the middle. Looked absolutely fantastic. I mean, the guys were fired up. Every single one of them were ready to play that game and ready to go win that game. And that's something we haven't seen from the Astros in a long time, I feel like. It feels like they're finally getting that confidence. They're finally getting that juice to get in there and actually have fun and go win games. That's the biggest takeaway that I had from the game.
Yeah, look, that's a 4-game winning streak going into tonight's game. It also, at the start of tonight's game, we're half a game out of first place. I think the Nationals beat the brakes off of the Mariners earlier, or yesterday, or earlier today.
Yeah, they did.
The one going back to Lance McCullers, he threw 102 pitches, 102. And every outing except for the Cincinnati one where he only lasted a third of an inning, his pitch count has been 87, 36 for the Cincinnati, 83, 91, and 102. Now you look at the 91 and 83 and 87, you're looking at 3 2/3 of an inning, 4 innings, 4 1/3, and here he is at 102 for 6 innings. So pretty efficient for him. Good to see him get over that 100 pitch mark. He just looked, it was awesome to see, man. It's so good to see number 43 out there looking like the 43-year-old. I can't wait for his next outing. He pitched on Wednesday, so we probably won't see him until maybe Sunday or Monday next week, possibly. I'm sure we're probably going to get into that. But Caratini, man, Caratini, to Bryle's point, like last season, he was like the pinch hit guy, and he seemed to come up clutch last season when he was pinch hitting. And he's getting so much playing time now because I think you can kind of trust his at-bats in whatever situation it is. I mean, a lot better. He's a switch hitter, right? He's a switch hitter? He's a switch hitter.
Yes.
A lot better from the left side. And so with Walker's little injury that we're going to get to here in a minute, you still have Caratini that can play first base, right? And in this absence, hopefully it's just a game. But Caratini has been a pretty clutch, and I use that pretty lightly, right? But he's been pretty clutch so far this season. I mean, I think I want to say he's getting close to playing the most games in a season already than he has in several seasons, even before he came to Houston. The other big thing that I want to make sure that we touch on from this A series was the 2-out hitting that we had.
Yes.
Especially on the Tuesday game. We can go back any series before the Oakland, Sacramento, Las Vegas series where you have runners on with 2 outs or runners on with 1 out, like Browsley talked about, right? But their 2-out hitting in the Oakland series is what helped them win that game, especially on Tuesday, because it just keeps passing the baton. Just move the runners around, next guy in, he gets a hit, and we just keep going. And that's what we're, you're not going to see that every game, but this homestand, dude, they're playing out of their minds. They really are. I mean, tonight I don't think it's going very well. It's 3-1 at the bottom of the 5th at the moment. Still early, but these guys, it's so much fun to watch when you can see the things kind of come together. You see the McCullers have a good outing. You see the 2-out hitting. You see just the next guy in line just getting the clutch hit in that moment that we need. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. What's going to we keep going forward with the Rays in town right now. We need the Rays are hot. They won 7 of the last 8 coming into Houston. They've been on a hot streak. We're at 4 games, a 4-game win streak right now. So, we need to get back from the Rays what they took from us when we were playing at the minor league park a few weeks ago or last week. So let's get into the Rays series, or we can talk about the injury updates. Want to do that before we get into the Rays series?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So
yes.
We kind of talked about it before we came on. So Jordan took some BP today off of a machine.
Yes. All right.
Looks fantastic. I would hope so off of a machine. I think they said that they're going to wait and see how his hand reacts to the BP that he had today. Possibly will not have to do a rehab assignment. Really just going to depend on how he feels, and he might be able to kind of dictate when he comes back. I didn't realize, I know he's been out for a minute, but I didn't realize that he's already missed 25 games. Did y'all know that? He's been 25 games already?
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. No, and what I had read was that so after the machine pitching, they're going to actually bring in minor league pitchers to pitch to Jordan. So I guess that will forego him having to do a minor league rehab assignment. But man, that's been a quick damn 25 games. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
I mean, it's felt like it's been like 10.
Yeah,
no, for sure.
It hadn't felt that bad. And, I got to give credit to DeCinzo, Cam Smith, like Christian Walker, getting live again, and Paredes, and Myers, Pena, all these guys have now kind of just stepped up and given this team offense, where I feel like we were relying on Jordan at the beginning of the season, like, oh, thank God he's up. We got one on. Now we've got a shot. And, it's now it doesn't really seem like that. So, yeah, it feels weird that he's been out 25 games. And like Chris said, it's like maybe 10 is what it kind of feels like. So if he can get some, minor league pitching at bats and get back in here, then add to what we've already got. My God, man, that offense is going to start clicking real quick.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's going to be exciting to see, him back in the lineup, obviously, because it's, he's a huge at bat. Curious to see what the lineup's going to look like with him, like where a spot is going to put him, how it's going to change it a little bit. So that's the Jordan news. Bad news this week is that Ronell Blanco, he gone for the season.
To nobody's surprise.
Shockingly, unshockingly.
Right. Yeah.
Shockingly, unshockingly, he is done. So, like we said on the last time, usually when you get a second opinion, it means you don't like the first one, and it's probably not good news. So, yeah, he's gone for the season. We'll see him. It's May, so I don't know, August, maybe next year, maybe. So
Yeah, I'd probably say July.
you know,
July
so
next year.
and if you kind
But
of
who
look at
knows?
it, you know, we kind of talked about it a little bit on Sunday. I mean, not that we were able to tell that he had issues with his elbow, but his velocity wasn't as high as it was last year. He pitched the most he ever had last season. We could tell by the end of the season last season that he was getting fatigued. And then this year has been so up and down with him. Kind of makes sense, unfortunately. But yeah, another pitcher lost to elbow injury on the Astros staff. So next guy up. But we did get some news on Spencer Arrighetti. He is playing catch now.
All right,
That's
I like
that's
it.
good. As long as it's not in the outfield during BP, I'm okay with that. So we'll see. There is a no timetable, I believe, right, Browse? No timetable for his return.
They were saying they're hoping for July.
Okay.
Hoping.
Well, yeah. Well,
Let's
Tucker
get
was
the
always
decoder out.
yeah. Tucker was also out for 3 months with the bruised shin, so we'll see. Yeah, Luis Garcia throwing in the bullpen session over the weekend at Daikin. I don't really know how close he is. I mean, that was the first time we've seen him throw. I don't know if you guys have any updates on that.
No, I mean, I would say probably end of July, August would probably be my timetable for him.
Yeah. Yeah, so like right now you're running out Hunter Brown, Fromber, Lance McCullers, Colton Gordon, and tonight you're throwing out Gusto.
Yeah.
You know, like the Ryan Gusto thing, man, I just it's cool. You know, as of tonight, prior to me getting on here for the podcast, I did not hear the story about what it took for Ryan Gusto to get to the MLB. So that was cool. Because we should all have his story memorized by now. He threw 33 pitches in the first inning. Couldn't and not many swings and misses. You know, and we don't expect him to come in here and be a Hunter Brown or a Fromber. We get that, right? I get that. But
do you?
I don't know why you wouldn't use Brandon Walter again.
No, I agree. I mean, like, you know, like it seems like the last couple times Gusto started, he's kind of struggled command wise. I think they were saying his first 5 appearances when he was coming out of the bullpen, I think he had like 1 walk or something like that. And then his last 3 starts as a starter, he's had, you know, multiple walks, you know, anywhere from 3 to 4 in the game. But I agree. I mean, nothing against the kid. Maybe he's just one of those guys that it just feels right. It feels better for him to come out of the bullpen than starting. But you guys did not mention the biggest rehab assignment that's going down tonight, down in probably one of the greatest minor league stadiums right now, down at Constellation Field. I think they're playing at Constellation Field, not sure. But Pedro Leon is back. He is starting his rehab assignment tonight. So, hey, you say that, but hear me out. What if he comes back, starts raking? Can we, and then, you know, would you be opposed for us ending this saga of this experiment of Brendan Rodgers at second, who's now hitting 194? We can DFA him, move Altuve back to second, and then put Pedro Leon in left field and, you know, say, hey, this cool experiment with I almost called it Biggio. Altuve at left. It's now over. He can go back to second base. Now we have Pedro Leon in left field. Would that make everybody happy?
No.
Here's the problem with that is you've
nothing
got
makes you happy, PK.
Hold on. It's not that I wouldn't be happy about that, but I'll tell you this. We've got right now DeCenzo absolutely crushing it. We've got Cam Smith absolutely crushing it. You've got Myers, who's still looking really good in the box. And then Chas McCormick's starting to come alive. So I think the problem with that is that Pedro Leon's going to need at-bats. And right now, I don't see where he's going to get the at-bats from. I don't think we have room for him, to be honest with you. So I'd kind of rather see him in AAA, catch fire, and then if we can catch lightning in a bottle, then bring him up.
Listen, yeah, I'm just trying to find a way. I'm just trying to find a way for us to DFA Brendan Rodgers. I think I'm over this experiment already. I mean,
no, I'm
okay with you can put DeCenzo in left field every day. I don't care. I mean, he went deep yesterday. I don't care. Put him in left field. Just move Altuve back to second, and we can be done with this.
I would agree with
get
you
it.
on that.
That part I agree
gave him
with.
a shot. It's over.
Yeah,
So
no,
really,
I agree.
Any way that we could put somebody else in left field to move Altuve to second. That's pretty much what I'm going to do.
Especially after that play yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it where that might have been Butler too that crushed one up against the wall. And he
dude.
like backed up and tried to go get it up against the wall. And the ball was like 6 feet that way. And over his head.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe he was stretching. He was stretching his arm out. You know,
but
I think it was one of those where he forgot about playing the carom off the wall. I mean, look, I think he probably thought that he was going to catch it short of the track, but then it kept carrying. But yeah, his jump, his extended glove jump, he was still about at least 6 feet short of the ball,
and 6 feet to the left,
and it came like halfway back to shortstop. So, the Brendan Rodgers thing, I'm okay with. I mean, he is produced nothing. I don't believe produced nothing for us. But like we said before, it was a low risk signing, a high reward signing if he does pan out. So you take the flyer and you see what happens. Maybe change the scenery, but it has not worked out. So, but I'm liking the flow that we have with DeZenzo and left and Smith and Cam and right. I mean, look.
Yeah, but the thing
I know you're going to shake your head.
Day and left.
I get it. But when Jordan comes back, your DH is gone, right? Because here's the thing: like you're gonna shake your head about this, but like Dubon plays a really good second, like he really does. Like
as good as Altuve, no,
dude, but Altuve, like.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, I mean, like
Dubon's got more range than Altuve.
If you want to work DeZenzo into the lineup, right? It's got to be through the outfield. Are you going to put DeZenzo at second base?
No.
I mean, so you're going to need to leave Dubon in that backup utility role. And like I said, if DeZenzo's killing it, which he hasn't been playing terrible, put him in left field until he Brendan Rodgers you and you have to set him down or something.
Or depending on what's going on.
I'm just trying to get. I just want the more athletic guys in the outfield covering the outfield ground. Then I mean, I love Altuve. I love the fact that whether he was forced to go to left field or he volunteered to go to left field, whatever the story is, I don't give a shit. But I mean, and he did hose out that guy at home. I get it.
Was Cal Raleigh?
I would like, a catcher with like 12 speed in MLB The Show.
Yeah,
I get it
exactly.
Okay, so the fact that he was sent home, the third base coach should have been fired. So
that's a fact too.
But move him back to second. Let DeZenzo be your everyday left fielder. You can leave Leon down in AAA. You can, excuse me. You can DFA. What's his name? Brendan Rodgers, or send him down to AAA. Call up who's the dude with the long beard? Guillorme. Another lefty that you could probably utilize off the bench. I mean, so you're so right-handed heavy. All you have now is you have Caratini, who's been a complete, absolute steal these last 2 seasons for what you're paying for him. Jordan when he gets back, and then you'd have a lefty infielder bat off the bench that you can come in and every now and then feed him a start. He basically is your Gray Kessinger of last year.
I wouldn't argue with that.
Plays. Yeah.
But I think the one wild card in all of this is what's going to happen with Walker. So if they're going to be like, yeah, he's kind of day to day, and then all of a sudden, oh, he's on the 15-day DL. We're going to put him on the 60-day. Then that's all going to change. And I know that DeZenzo, was actually taking some work at first base, so you might see him switch over to first because I don't think they want.
You don't need to put him at first, though. You don't need to because you still have Caesar. You still have Salazar on the roster, so there's your backup catcher.
I forgot about Salazar. Caesar salad. All right,
Caesar salad. So. Well, yeah. Look,
I think we got to get into our predictions before we wrap this up.
The Pedro Leon thing. he doesn't need to come up to the big boy park until he can prove that he can hang consistently and stay healthy down in the AAA park.
He had 20 at bats
I'm just saying.
last season. 20. He had 20.
That's a
Who's had
spot
more than 20? Brendan Rodgers.
No, not lately.
Yeah, not lately.
He's
had more.
He's MIA. He's a new Greg Kessinger.
No, he started yesterday.
I was in and out of the game.
So,
all right, let's get into the predictions. I know that we have the game going on right now. They are losing by 1, top of the 6th. Even coming into this, like I'll take the split. Even coming in, right?
is it a 4-game series?
It's got to be. It's got to be.
You want the pitchers?
It's got to be because it's a Thursday night start, so they wouldn't. Right? We're not off on Sunday, right?
It would make sense with the A series being just a 2-game series. Then you roll into a 4-game to wrap up the weekend.
Yeah, so like coming into this, we should have texted about it, but we didn't. But yeah, I'll take the split on this one.
All right, you know what? I'm probably gonna jinx everything, but I'm gonna go 3-1 Houston.
Like it.
And to be crazy, I'm going to say we're gonna come back and win tonight.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So we already know the pitchers from tonight. Friday is Pepio against Valdez. Saturday is Littell versus Gordon. Sunday is Bradley versus Brown. So you got some pretty good pitching coming up this weekend.
Look, man, it kind of lines up, dude.
I'm telling you. And I know the Rays have been hot. I will not ride with Chris on the comeback tonight, but I will ride with a 3-1 with him because I think that we can easily win those next 3 games with the pitching lineup we got. Gusto, man, I like the dude. He's done everything he is supposed to do for us, but let's be honest, like we've already talked about, he is a long reliever that needs to come out of the bullpen. That should be where he's the most comfortable, not necessarily starting a game. So if he is going to get knocked around a little bit, which I was kind of concerned about, I don't know if we're going to come back tonight or not, but I'm going to ride with a 3-1 as well.
I like it. So we got 2 3-1s, and then I'm going 2-2 split. I'll take the 3-1. I'll gladly be the loser on this one for sure. So we'll see what happens the rest of tonight. Chris calls the comeback for tonight. Pitching lines up really good for the weekend, man. Lines up really freaking good. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and let's take this series, take our place back on top of the AL West. We'll be back with you guys on Sunday evening. We'll recap the Rays series, and we'll talk about next week what we got going on. So until then, thank you all for listening. As always, every single week, thank y'all for interacting with us on Facebook and Twitter. Our handles down at the bottom. You can find us on all 3 of those platforms, Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to us. But until then, I'm PK. That's Chris. That's Bryles. And this is the Juicebox Heroes. Hook 'em, baby. Austin Regional starts this weekend. Starts tomorrow.
Assuming they get that field put back together. Hey, did you guys see
I saw the video of the hailstorm? Holy shit.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a lot of hail here at the house.